Mm. All right. Now we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you the weather for the West Coast out here in Southern California. Right now, the time is 9:34. 9:34 a.m. Wednesday, October 9th. Right now it's cloudy with 64 degrees. It's supposed to get to a high of 82 and a low of 60. Cloudy daily forecast. All right, it's foggy outside. Participation right now is 0%. Humidity is going to be 90%. The winds is going to be traveling at a 3 miles an hour. Air quality got a yellow light, moderate. That's okay. That's right up under good. I like it. 63 degrees and it feels like 63 degrees. Yeah. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is going to be 77, 59, 79, 59, and 74, and 60. All right. The winds, you can barely tell they're moving at 3 miles an hour. Okay, what y'all want to talk about this morning? Y'all want to talk about, this is what I want to say to all of you guys that's on my contact list on my phone and then on Messenger and on Facebook. I sends out stuff that's important to me that I think that's going to be important to you guys. A lot of homemade remedies that when you're at the laboratory, your favorite grocery store, like back home is Tops and Wegmans and some other ones. You can go in that produce section over there and you can pick up you some onions and garlic, get you some honey, get you some yellow onions and some red onions, and you can make some of these homemade remedies, and I can guarantee you that they work. I'm a living testimony of that there. You know, I'm giving my testimony here at church, at my home. You know, I used to smoke for many years. I started smoking cigarettes when I was about 14, 15 years old. And then I smoked, boy. I think I stopped smoking back in 2004, 2005. You know, and then right around COVID time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a little history about me. Right around COVID time, I was coming up with a lot of mucus and stuff in my throat. And so my doctor I let my primary doctor know, and she would write me for this, write me for that, and every now and then she would write me for some antibiotics. And then I constantly mentioned that to her for about a year and a half or so. So she told me to go in for a CAT scan. First, she wanted me to go in for some allergy tests to see if I'm allergic to anything, and all the allergy tests came back negative. That's always a good sign. See, positive ain't always a good sign. Negative ain't always a bad sign. And so she put in for me to get a CAT scan, and I went in, you know, and it didn't take but 5 minutes, if that much, for a CAT scan. And so that was on a Sunday at the VA hospital out here in Long Beach, California. And that was, 8 months ago, 6 months ago. So next month I got to go back again. And so when I got home from my primary doctor that following Monday, because the test was on a Sunday, she called me. No, I had my rehabilitation for my right hip. And so she called, I answered, she said, "Hey, Mr. Livingston, I got your test results back." And I said, "Okay." She said, "You know, your allergy test came back clear. I mean, everything is good." She said, "But." I said, "Well, but what?" She said, "We see you have a little nodule on your right lung. Down at the bottom, a little growth, a nodule." That's what the medical term of growth is called, a nodule, ladies and gentlemen. And she said, I said, "Well, is there anything I need to worry about?" She said, "No." She said, that is in the early stages. No, she said, "You have a nodule down there at the bottom of your right lung." Then she said, "It also shows you have emphysema and you have COPD." And I said, "Well, is there anything I need to worry about?" She said, "No." it's in the early stage. So she put in for me to get these two different type of inhalers, right? And so I was taking those there for about 5 or 6 months, you know. And I'm listening to these doctors saying that when the doctors give you, when they treat you, they either gonna give you pills or give you some kind of chemical, whether it's inhaler or you pain pills or injections, whatever it is, right? And they practice in medicine, you know, and doctors, you find a lot of doctors that end up drinking a lot and doing drugs because after their second year of practicing medicine, their patients help themselves get well. So I used inhalers, and I noticed that they was making me a lot worse than better. So I stopped taking those inhalers and just kept on using my homemade remedies, you know, like the natural antibiotics by either a yellow or red onion, you know, dicing it up, putting it in a glass dish, and then dicing up maybe a half a ball of garlic clove, right? And then I'll put 9 to 12 tablespoons of honey in there, and I'll stir it up, put the lid on it, and let it sit for about 6 hours. And then I'll come back and I'll stir it up some more. And then I put the lid on it. And then I'll go ahead and go to sleep. Because I like it to, you can do it. It'll work for 6 hours, but if you let it do overnight, it's even better. And then you get a strainer, get you a spoon, put a little bit in a strainer, not too much, and you just press down on it and squeeze all the liquids from the garlic and the onion and the honey into a mason jar. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get up and show you exactly what it looked like because I made some more yesterday, and then I put it through the strainer this morning when I woke up. I'm gonna get this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. And you see this jar right here? When you put it through a little strainer, right? You just get a tablespoon, put a little bit in at a time, and then you press down, press the liquid out, and then it'll fill up to about here. And I make that, and this will last for 7 days. I take 2 tablespoons in the morning on an empty stomach, and boy, I just feel so much better than the pharmaceutical stuff. And then like I'll take 2 tablespoons when I'm going to bed. I sleep so good. I sleep so good, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. And so my airways is open. It brings up your mucus, because see, you don't want to suppress your mucus. When we were growing up, our parents and them, they didn't say mucus because that's the medical term. They say phlegm. You remember that? My generation, all the generations before me, maybe a generation behind me, if they paid attention to their grandparents and old folks and their parents, right, they would say phlegm instead of mucus. And man, I tell you, this is a beautiful antibiotic. I don't care if you had an infection or something, because doctors don't want to really give you antibiotics unless it's a disease that's really, really, really bad. But this here is a natural antibiotic. And then I also get me one of those spoons that you feed newborn babies toddlers when they're old enough to start eating Gerber's baby food. They're smaller than a teaspoon, and I'll get that much, and after I boil some water, and I pour that hot water in a cup, and I put that much of that spoonful that you feed your baby toddlers when they're eating baby Gerber food worth of turmeric, and I'll stir it up, and then I'll pour me a little lemon juice in there, or you can have lime juice. And then if you ain't got that, you can just squeeze a little bit of orange juice. And then you put you a half or a little more than a half a teaspoon of black pepper in it, because that would activate stuff, right? And you talking about getting rid of inflammation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you what I know. And you don't have to worry about the stuff that I'm telling you about. You don't have to worry about liver and kidney disease. The only thing that you have to not even worry about, you'll notice that your organs is working good, is your bladder. All you gonna do is go in to urinate. Ain't nothing wrong with urinate. Ain't nothing wrong with urinate. That lets you know that organ right there you ain't got to worry about. That's right. So I got to go for another CAT scan next month. I think it's on the 7th, And so when I listen to doctors tell me that there's no cure for cancer and chemotherapy and all that stuff there is just poison. When you see on the commercials and you see somebody ringing that bell, right? They ringing that bell because it went into readmission. Not that it's gone and not that cancer is cured, because you ask your doctor, you ask someone who has something in readmission and it came back and come back almost a billion times worse. So me, myself, and I, if I came down with some kind of cancer or something like that, there, right? I don't give a damn if it's in the early stage. I ain't going for no goddamn chemo or none of that kind of treatment. And then, like they sent me a brochure to come in and so they can treat me. And the brochure starts off that even CAT scans is like a 70-something or 80-something% give a negative reading, right? So they want me to come back. They want some patients to go back until they really get it right. But then that's so much radiation and stuff. Then they have it to where they can stick a needle and then they can suck out some of that nodule, right, to see if it's growing. Or even if it ain't growing, they want to do that there. And to me, that's just like waking up a goddamn bear that's in hibernation. A bear that's in hibernation, you wake that motherfucker up, he gonna go crazy. He gonna kill you. Exactly. That's exactly what a bear gonna do. You know how, like in the wintertime, right? Bear, they go into their den. When they slow their metabolism down after they don't eat so much, have so much fat and stuff to carry them through the winter, whether it's a light winter or a heavy cold day, hazardous winter, right? But then you always got somebody want to go poke the bear. Then the next thing you know, they want to kill the bear. I ain't letting nobody wake up that bear. Gonna stay the way it is. Hey, that's enough for me, but that took about 13 minutes to get that through. And I'm going to tell you another one too. You cut you some limes and a lemon, right? In slices, right? And you get you some turmeric. And you boil that water and you put that turmeric in there, right? You drop them limes up in there. You put your little bit of black pepper up in there. And you just let it do what it do. And you just take a tablespoon of that there. You talking about lowering your cholesterol. I'm telling you from experience. I'm a living testimony. So I'm just trying to encourage some of you guys to think about your childhood, what the old folks used to do. Mr. and Mrs. Smith that lived next door or across the street, old granny, or Aunt Eula, something like that there. I remember an old girlfriend I had back home, Betty Elder. Hi, Betty. I know you're down there where the hurricanes is in Miami, down there in Florida right now. I remember her mama. I come by her house one day. Her mama had some water boiling on the stove. And when I walked by, I seen she had some grapefruit rinds. The grapefruit rind. She had that in the water. And she turned the fire down from boiling to let it simmer real slow. And I asked her, I said, are you making you a tea? She said, yes. She said, when we was growing up, and when she died, she was like 90-something years old. She said, when we was growing up as kids, we couldn't afford to go to the doctor. We just used what was nature. And she said, if you boil grapefruit rinds, you put it in hot water and just let it sit there for a little while, and you take it out, and you pour it in the coffee cup. She said that's natural insulin because she was a diabetic. You know, she didn't have a needle because they used to have people back in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s that shot it in their stomach or however they do it when they're diabetic. She didn't do that there. She would get her insulin from grapefruit rinds. Yeah, so did. All right, hey Philly Cat, comedian buddy of mine, Philly Cat, how you doing? Did you make it there to New York City? Yeah, did you make it safely to your home, Philadelphia? And how long are you gonna be there before you fly off to Paris, France, to a buddy of your wedding? All right. So I gave you a little bit of rundown with me. I've been up. I had to go and wash my clothes, you know, my linen. I try to wash my bedding every week and a half for 2 weeks. So I got that stuff in the dryer. Got my colored clothes in the washing machine. Yes. You know, my daddy used to always say, man can't cook for himself, can't clean after himself, ain't no man. Because when you get to a certain age, and it go for women too, sex ain't the most important thing. It's important, but it ain't the most important thing like when you're in your youth. When you start smelling girls or girls start smelling boys, they can have them a job at a grocery store. Shit, they calling in, they just ain't going. They get fired. Because that thing is just good. Yes. Hey, so if any of you guys, when I send you notifications, right, don't be afraid of hurting my feelings. Let me know to stop sending it to you because believe me, I will. You know, I definitely will. You know, I just try to see if I can help someone else, send them some stuff that's beneficial. Because, you know, everything that's in the Garden of Eden is good. It is. Did you know dandelion? Did you know that you can process dandelions that's in your front or backyard? You can process that there. You know that's stronger than morphine. And just as strong as morphine as a painkiller. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Hey, like I said, this is the gift of gab with Uncle Floyd. Oh man, I didn't even sign in to let you guys see me. Man, I gotta go on Facebook and sign in real quick. I gotta sign in real quick. Damn. Let me go and sign in real quick so you guys can see me. I am so sorry that I didn't. I didn't. I am so sorry. And so it's almost 19 minutes. I'm talking. I normally do this here early in my broadcast. So, like I said, you guys, if I send you guys something and you're just tired of something that's gonna be good for you, and you just want to deal with pharmaceutical stuff, don't be afraid thinking you hurting my feelings. Because I'm going to live on. I'm going to live on. I love you all. This is the gift of gab with Uncle Floyd, and I am Uncle Floyd, the one and only. And you can always check me out right here on Facebook. You can always check me out on Twitch. If you go on Twitch, you put in the gift of gab with Uncle Floyd, and then you'll see me. You go on YouTube, you put in Floyd Livingston, 8202. Floyd Livingston, 8202 on YouTube. See this shirt right here? My uncle, he would be way in his hundreds right about now. He used to have this saying right here. It says, fishes has a season. Deers has a season. Even sports has its season. Then why in the hell is it always open season on me and my people? Yeah. Why is it always open season on black people? Not just in America. Haiti, Africa, You know, even the original Jews. You know, over there in Israel, they don't want no interbreeding over there. Shit. Some places down in the South, down in Texas, they don't want this shit. You better not be riding through some parts of Texas when the sun is down or going down. Shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back. I'll be back with the gift of gab with Uncle Floyd. And I am Uncle Floyd, and I love you all dearly. Yes, I do.